From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. It is Wednesday, December 10th. Let's open up the windows and start a brand new day together.
Education is a right. That is why we have to fight.
The education fight and news breaking overnight. Teachers in the East Bay reach a deal with the district. What 12 hours of negotiating did for teachers' salaries and their health insurance.
We regret that it took a loss of life for the Department of Public Health to implement new security measures.
Hospital security after the deadly stabbing of a social worker. What we know about changes in security and the suspect in the case. Tap and ride to get you going on Bay Area transit systems. We're live from the San Francisco Caltrain station to see how it works.
We just got Dumbo that night, just put together. That was our new one of the year, and it got stolen that night.
A real-life Grinch caught on camera stealing thousands of dollars worth of holiday decor from a South Bay neighborhood. We speak to the homeowners, hoping doorbell video can help track down the thief.
We're moving. The train is now on its way up to Sonol.
All aboard! The community station takes you aboard Fremont's Polar Express.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through that work week, and it's another cool, cloudy start to the morning for us here in the Bay Area. Let's start off by pulling up the map and painting this picture for all of us as we head outside. We're now down into the 30s into places like Fremont right now before you step out the door. Cool, cloudy, foggy conditions still spill in from the Sacramento Valley over into the Delta, stretched all the way over into places like Vallejo, Concord, and Antioch this morning. Nice and cool. Watch what happens as I turn on our daytime highs. Antioch, it's another day of 40s from morning to afternoon, back to evening hours. And we're going to continue to keep a close eye on that as we head into the next couple days, because all of us will be experiencing a bit of a warm up, but not by much for the most part in some of our microclimates off into the East Bay. Now, along our coastal communities, if 60s yesterday weren't good enough, now we're into the mid 60s. Half Moon Bay today at 65 degrees, the warmest microclimate on the map for us, including Los Gatos. I'll have more on why that's happening coming up in just a bit. For now, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jess. Breaking overnight in Richmond. After 10 months of talks and a 4-day walkout, the West Contra Costa County School District and the United Teachers of Richmond, they've done it. They've reached a tentative deal. So here's what they get in a 2-year agreement. An 8% raise, 100% fully paid family health care by 2027, retention bonuses for new teachers, especially in special education, and a district-sponsored pathway for international teachers to gain permanent residency. Union leaders called the deal a win for teachers, students, and the future of public education. But for students this morning, just heads up, no school yet again today. Teachers are going to treat it as a classroom prep day. You will go back to school tomorrow. This tentative agreement must still be ratified by the United Teachers of Richmond members and formally approved by the West Contra Costa Unified School Board. Budget problems at various Bay Area school districts, and they continue. Moving on the map now to Alameda. Oakland Unified there will see their school board vote on a plan to cut $100 million from next year's budget. It's all to try to avoid a state takeover. Now, school leaders there are weighing layoffs at the central office. They're also looking at cuts to school programs, along with other steep reductions. We can tell you that they've been trying to keep as many teachers from being laid off as possible, but they face a ticking clock here. The district has to present a balanced budget to the county by December 15th. Moving on the map now to the North Bay, Santa Rosa City school leaders also have big decisions to make due to massive budget problems. Santa Rosa schools also face a state takeover. Their district has to cut $2.8 million from budgets and find about $10 million more dollars. After last spring's shutdown of 6 schools and the reduction in staff positions by more than 150, tonight board members will again review new budget reports and proposals, and then look at another potential round of possible cuts. The deficit this morning sits at nearly $20 million. In Menlo Park at Tide Academy, they're also in danger of closing down because of declining enrollment. Students and parents not happy about the potential closure at the school known as Sequoia Union High School. A meeting today kicks the can down the road with a final vote expected in the month of February. We'll keep you posted there. Also moving around the Bay Area for other headlines in your community, a murder charge for the suspect accused in that deadly stabbing attack on a social worker at San Francisco General. Wilfredo Tortolario Urechi is in a psych ward of the same hospital where the attack happened, while the case against him by police and prosecutors plays out. Investigators say he fatally stabbed social worker Alberto Rangel several times on the neck inside the HIV unit. Rangel's co-workers told us they reported the suspect's erratic behavior before the deadly attack and said they had already raised concerns about security at the hospital. This morning, health department leaders have increased security there, including limiting access points and speeding up plans to install metal detectors.
We regret that it took a loss of life for the Department of Public Health to implement new security measures. The measures that they say they've implemented this week should have been implemented a long time ago.
So here's the what's next angle. The union representing those hospital workers will meet today to outline a full list of demands to try to improve safety. Tonight in Oakland, after losing beloved coach John Beam in a shooting attack, students and educators at Laney College plan a powerful tribute. Here's how it'll play out. It's a memorial called Light the Path, Light the Field. It begins at 4 p.m. at the Laney Bistro. After speeches, participants will carry luminarias along that football path that Coach Beam walked and used as he inspired young people for years. A video tribute will close the evening under the stadium lights. Well, a burglar in Berkeley forces a newly opened jewelry store to close not long after they opened for business. The owner of Silverworks Studios on 4th Street tells the break-in happened Thursday morning. The bad guys got away with about $10,000 worth of materials, and also they did some damage. They sprayed every surface with fire extinguisher foam. So far, police are on the hunt, but they've made no arrests. Up in Sonoma County, and big changes to that county's cannabis industry to tell you about this morning. Supervisors just approved the first major overhaul of rules that govern cannabis sales in 7 years. The board voted 4-1 to tighten regulations on commercial cannabis farms, including new acreage requirements and a streamlined crop swap for permit growers. Supporters say the ordinance modernizes the system and helps legal businesses survive. Opponents argue the changes still do not protect neighborhoods from noise and odor and water impact complaints. New rules are set to take effect in July. Starting today, tap and ride starts for 24 Bay Area transit systems, and so we want to talk about it. It affects a lot of you this morning. Here's Veronica Macias. She's at the San Francisco Caltrain station. Veronica, good to see you. I like the idea of using debit and credit cards to ride. How's it playing out this morning?
Right? It makes things easier, and it's good to hear your voice, Reed. Good morning. Yeah, so it's called the Next Generation Clipper. You could call it Clipper 2.0. And really, this is about making things more convenient for people and just modernizing it. So yes, one of the features it includes is paying with your contactless credit or your debit card. Bay Area transit riders have been able to use a chip-enabled credit or debit card to pay for BART since August. But beginning today, all Bay Area transit agencies that accept Clipper, Caltrain, Golden Gate Transit, VTA, and the list goes on with all the public transportation ways in the Bay Area. So they're now able to accept the debit cards, tap and go, right? So one of the best features about the transition here is the ability to save people some money. And if you add it up, it doesn't sound much at first, but over time, people are going to save big here. That's because this new transition is going to enable people to have free transfers from one transit agency to another, getting a discount of almost $3. So you can imagine how much that adds up per week and then yearly. A lot of the people out here that you're seeing probably take, public transportation not just once a week, but probably on a weekly basis. So that really adds up. So throughout the morning, we're going to be talking to people as they roll out this program. It's going to take some time, though, for BART to get all of this on track. But one of the features it also includes, especially for families, it's beneficial that if you have multiple people riding transit agencies, you can have multiple family members on one single account. And that also saves you the headache, the time, money. So, of course, we'll be talking to passengers, riders here this morning.
Platform full of riders there. Can't wait to hear from him. Veronica Macias, thank you so much. Also happening today, you can say goodbye to the old toll booths over on the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge. From now on out, overhead fast-track scanners will read your toll tags. So you can expect to see crews out there working on the westbound upper deck today. Officials say the shift to cashless tolling should boost safety and ease backups there at the plaza. Time right now, 6:09. Good morning to you. While CBS polling shows only 32% of Americans say the economy is good, President Trump gives himself an A grade for the economy. What he had to say about affordability, rallying Pennsylvania voters last night. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Look at that. We're going to prove that story to you with some South Bay security video in the hopes that they can catch a bad guy. Here's a live look outside right now before we head to break. Good morning. Whether you're waking up in San Francisco, North, South, East Bay, or somewhere between, Thank you for being a part of your community station. It's 6:10 in the morning. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is almost 6:13 in the morning. We're watching live video from our many monitors, bringing us the headlines from all across the globe. We've got new details about the deadly mass shooting at a Stockton birthday party. 4 killed, 3 children included in the victims, ranging from young age all the way up to almost preteen. Deputies tell us they recovered 50 bullet casings and revealed the shooter used at least 5 guns. They also revealed a hunt for multiple suspects, all wearing dark clothes and face coverings. Despite polling that shows his administration is losing ground with voters over affordability, President Donald Trump says he's crushing it on the economy. Jared Hill recaps the president's first rally-style speech in months.
In a campaign-style rally,
I have no higher priority than making America affordable again.
President Trump touted economic wins to a crowd in battleground Pennsylvania and blamed Democrats for high prices nearly a year into his second term.
They gave you the highest inflation in history, and we're bringing those prices down.
According to AAA, gas prices are down 6 cents compared to this time last year, but government data shows general energy costs are up 2.8%. And while overall inflation was falling, it drifted back up when Trump imposed sweeping tariffs.
The economy is not good. I don't see promises being kept.
In a Politico interview, the president gave himself this grade on the economy.
A+.
A+.
Yeah, A++++++.
Top House Democrat Hakeem Jeffries disagrees.
Donald Trump and Republicans have done nothing to lower the high cost of living.
Tuesday, President Trump veered from the economy to immigration, attacking Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, a U.S. citizen born in Somalia.
She's here illegally. She should get the hell out.
On social media, Omar called the comments bigoted lies.
Let's go to Florida now, in a political shakeup in Miami as voters picked a new mayor. A Democrat won in what's usually a Republican mayor's office. Eileen Higgins won Miami's mayoral runoff last night. She's the city's first Democrat elected mayor in more than 3 decades. Let's take a live look outside on this Wednesday morning. We are halfway through the work week. Here's Jess with your forecast.
What's going on for us throughout the Bay Area, starting off within the next couple hours. You know, one thing I really want to get straight into is the air quality and, of course, that stubborn fog that's still off into the East Bay, too. Let's start off with temperatures, though, actually. Throughout the Bay Area, we're waking up to 40s everywhere, from Half Moon Bay all the way over into Antioch. Even some 30s trickled in there all the way down into Fremont. It is close to freezing. And it definitely feels freezing out there as you step out the front door. Antioch today, waking up to that thick fog pulling in from the Sacramento Valley. That pushes through the Delta like you see. And as we head into the next couple hours, it's going to make surface visibility a little bit hard, especially if you're out there on the road. So just keep that in mind. Now, heading into this afternoon, it's another day of 40s for our daytime highs over into Antioch. It's stubborn right now, that thick fog, and of course we're dealing with poor air quality over into those areas too. We're keeping a close eye on those conditions here in the Weather Center. We should see that start to improve as we creep closer to this weekend's forecast. Now, this is the time of year where we start to see a little bit of a flip between our microclimates. Let's zoom out a bit more, Chase. I want to show you 40s over into the East Bay, yes, but we have upper 60s today over into Half Moon Bay. Warmer weather along the coast, but be very careful along our shoreline today. That blue color is what the National Weather Service has issued a beach hazard statement, and that's going to last as we head into the afternoon hours today with rip currents and sneaker waves possible widespread throughout our coastal communities. So be very, very careful along the water. Still a great day to get out there at least on the sand and do a nice walk into the afternoon hours. Now, our air quality today, the forecasted into this afternoon, showing moderate conditions from the North Bay stretched all the way down into the Santa Clara Valley. Off into the East Bay we go. We're now in that unhealthy for sensitive groups category, and we're going to continue to see that into the afternoon hours today. So if you are sensitive to that pollutant matter, be very careful. Limit your time outside today if possible. It should start to improve, like I said, as we start to see the stagnant weather pattern break apart heading into this weekend. Into this weekend we go. Daytime highs are sitting mostly in the upper 50s, mid 50s by Sunday. It's as early as next week where we start to see showers returning into the forecast. Monday heading into Tuesday. That's not only for our friends along the bay, but all the way off into our inland spots too. So let's actually head over into our inland areas now. Daytime highs just a little bit cooler in certain microclimates like the East Bay. So we're going to hold on tight to low 50s each day diving into this weekend with another chance of showers right around the corner heading into this weekend and early next week. Back to you.
Jess, thanks, and good morning, Bay Area. Taking a look at your commute this morning. Starting off in Palo Alto, there is a crash on southbound 101 at Embarcadero Road. The right lane's affected here, so just be prepared for some backup in that area. Moving over on the map, we're tracking a crash on westbound Highway 4 just before the Bailey Road exit. Speeds down to about 15 miles per hour there, so expect some slow and go. Heading over to the Altamont Pass, top speeds around 15 miles an hour, so it is slow. Travel time through that stretch, about an hour. So cue up your favorite podcast. It's going to be a very long commute for you over on the pass. And at the Bay Area Bridge, it's your normal stop and go this Wednesday morning. No major delays, though, to report. Just standard fare on the Bay Bridge. That's a look at your morning commute. Some uplifting moments in the broadcast. Your neighbors at Bay Area food banks are hard at work making sure that local families do not go hungry this Christmas. Max Darrow is in San Jose with a big boost to those efforts.
Right now, Second Harvest of Silicon Valley is trying to accommodate even more of a need than they've ever dealt with before, and they have fewer resources than ever. 500,000 people a month rely on their services all across San Mateo and Santa Clara counties, and they're able to help out thanks to generous volunteers and donations, like from Scouting America. So I have Robert, Celeste, and Ron here. You guys have a check for almost $16,000. How good does it feel to make a difference in your own backyard?
Feels wonderful to make a difference in our communities. We have families that also need this support, so it's one of the things that we are glad that we can participate and support.
What is a lesson you'd want someone to take away from this effort you guys have come forward with?
You know, I think every one of us can make a difference, no matter how large or small. And for us as an organization, this is one of the key pillars as far as doing a good turn daily. And this is just one of those things that we get to do to help our communities. So it's very important for us to do that.
I love that idea that every single person can make a difference, no matter how big or how small. Let's bring in Shobana Gooby now from Second Harvest of Silicon Valley. That concept, everyone can make a difference, no matter how big or small. Talk to me about that concept here.
Absolutely. So from fundraising, like this amazing result that they've had, to volunteering, every single person can make a difference. And look what they've done. That's enough to provide nearly 30,000 meals.
Thank you for giving us that insight, Shobana. And if you'd like to make a difference at home, head to our website, kpix.com/give, or scan the QR code on your screen.
All right, Max, thank you so much, and say hi to all those great people out there serving our community. Also, be sure to join us for our holiday special, Stories of Hope. It airs Christmas night at 7 p.m. to warm you and your family. You can see the inspiring stories, people doing good right here in the Bay Area. Proof positive we need each other. We're a community. We are your community station. Time right now, 6:20. Time to lock in for the 49ers as their bye week comes to an end. How they're prepping for their next game in our Red and Gold Report. Then let's fire up the live cameras. We are where you are. That is hovering over the Bay Bridge this morning. We're going to check traffic as we look over towards the East Bay and the sunrise on yet another beautiful day. We'll see you right here in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. The 49ers bye week is over, and now they're looking for a final playoff push to lock in. Vern Glenn has more in this morning's Red and Gold Report.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
The 49ers are well-rested after a much-deserved bye week. But now, it's time to lock in for the last 4 games of the regular season. The Niners aren't looking ahead, but they've got the P word in their sights.
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
At 9-4, the Niners currently sit in 6th place in the conference after Chicago lost on Sunday. Detroit is just 1 game back of that final wildcard spot, but winning the division is still in play. San Francisco is just 1 back of the Rams and Seahawks with 4 games remaining.
You know, it's like a joyful feeling to be able to keep doing what you love, playing football.
It's just a lot better coming into work every day knowing like we can make a push for the Super Bowl and the playoffs. Like, I've never been in the playoffs before, so I'm excited. But we got to make a strong start the next 4 weeks.
If a team can help us, I'm rooting for them to win, yeah. But as a team, we can't get caught up in that. We just got to do what we can control. You hate to put your fate in somebody else's hands.
With the Red and Gold Report, I'm Vern Glenn.
Vern, thank you so much. Looking live out at Oracle Park this morning, your San Francisco Giants got some good luck in the draft lottery. So despite having the 12th best odds entering the lottery, the Giants landed the 4th overall pick in next year's MLB draft, which is a sizable jump from where they projected to land. It's just the 6th time in franchise history the Giants will have a top 5 pick in the draft. Some notable players the Giants drafted are Will Clark, Matt Williams, and current president of baseball operations Buster Posey in 2008. 6:26 in the morning, a multi-million-dollar project to restore the Bay Area shoreline. Still ahead, you're going to meet the crew in charge of transforming the wetlands in Mountain View. Let's go live outside right now as the sun starts to come up. Still some low-lying fog in parts. Jessica will have your forecast.
From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Let's look live outside this morning and look at that golden glow, reminding us all what a beautiful blessing it is just to wake up and have a new day, right? Here's Jess with your forecast.
And I also think it paints a really good picture. It's a little shaky right now, so the higher elevated areas dealing with some stronger winds, that haze filling the Santa Clara Valley this morning. Hey, at least you're not dealing with that thick fog like our friends over near the Delta are. And that's been the reality for us for quite some time now. I want to show you a couple things on the map as we wake up and head out the door. That fog has just been filling the Delta, pushing into the Bay Area, moving in from the Sacramento Valley. Now, current temperatures over in these areas holding on tight to 40s in places like Antioch and Concord. Now, as we head into the afternoon hours, daytime highs are only going to jump into the upper 40s in those exact same communities as that stubborn fog continues to last. We have 60s today on tap for us, anywhere from Los Gatos up into Redwood City, all the way over into our coastal community. 65 today in Half Moon Bay with sunny skies in store for us too. But along that coast, we have that beach hazard statement. We're going to talk more about this coming up in just a bit. For now, back to you.
Thank you so much. Well, after 10 months of negotiations and a 4-day walkout, the West Contra Costa School District and Unified Teachers of Richmond, they have a tentative contract. So here's what they get in a 2-year agreement: an 8% raise, 100% fully paid family health care by 2027, retention bonuses for new teachers, especially in special education, and a district-sponsored pathway for those international teachers to gain permanent residency. So listen up, students. This is something you need to know this morning. No school, because today is considered just a classroom prep day. You will go back to school tomorrow and Friday. The tentative agreement must still be ratified, though, by the United Teachers of Richmond members and also formally approved by the West Contra Costa Unified School Board. That said, financial challenges continue plaguing many Bay Area school districts. Today in Menlo Park, the Sequoia Union High School District is expected to discuss the closure of Tide Academy due to declining enrollment. Oakland Unified will vote on a final plan today to cut $100 million from next year's budget to avoid a state takeover. In Santa Rosa, the school district faces cutting $2.8 million to avoid running out of cash next year. We continue moving around the Bay Area for other headlines where you live, starting with Sutter Health. They say they'll stop all gender-affirming care for minors starting today. Sutter becomes the latest California hospital to end care for trans youth, citing federal pressure under the Trump administration. Trans advocates say the move leaves hundreds of families suddenly cut off from care that they relied on in violation of California's civil rights laws. Now they're calling on state leaders to step in and step up. While in the North Bay, an update to a chicken rescue case that got an animal rights activist in some hot water. She has to turn herself in today to Sonoma County Jail. This all stems, of course, from the case of Zoe Rosenberg, who's accused of stealing 4 chickens from Purdue's Petaluma Poultry Slaughterhouse back in 2023. Rosenberg's group, Direct Action Everywhere, released video of the rescue, saying the birds were covered in scratches and bruises. She's also ordered to pay more than $100,000 in restitution to the farm. A bizarre theft out of Brentwood to tell you about. The veterinary hospital is asking for help finding stolen pet ashes. Police responded to a burglary Saturday morning at Central Boulevard Veterinary Hospital. Security video shows 2 suspects smashing through a glass door and then failing to crack a cash register behind the front desk. Instead, they grabbed bags of urns filled with pet ashes, which the business owner says may have looked a lot like gift bags, and then just took off. We'll have an update on that story straight ahead. Also, it turns out a Waymo taxi can serve as an emergency hospital bed, too. Here's the story. A pregnant woman on her way to UCSF Medical Center gave birth inside a Waymo Monday night. According to Waymo, the company's remote rider support team detected unusual activity inside the vehicle. They initiated a call just to check on the passenger. Well, a UCSF spokesperson confirmed the mother and the baby arrived at the hospital in a Waymo. By the way, this is not Waymo's first delivery. Another baby born in a Waymo happened in Phoenix. People in one San Jose neighborhood say the Grinch is ruining their Christmas spirit after stealing their Disney-themed Christmas decorations. Look at that. A family caught the person believed to be the guy behind it all on their Ring camera, stealing the decorations. Amanda Harry talked to the family who says they want to warn others who are in the neighborhood afraid it could happen to them.
It's very frustrating. I feel violated.
It's like a scene out of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. A man comes up and grabs a bunch of the large figurines off of the Steele family's lawn in the middle of the night. Amanda Steele thinks he was looking for specific ones.
But they only took our Disney stuff. We had 6 Disney items.
Their Ring camera caught video of the person, despite their efforts to obscure a neighbor's camera. Amanda's husband, Nathan, thinks the thief knew which items were the big-ticket ones.
The Disney ones, they do add up a lot. They're anywhere from $100 to $300. So that's what it looked like before.
A photo shows the lawn completely filled with light-up holiday decorations. Now, it's much more sparse.
So we had, most of our Disney decorations are on the lawn here. We had Eeyore over here. Then we had my favorite, which was the hot rod with Minnie and Mickey. We just got Dumbo that night, just put together. That was our new one of the year, and it got stolen that night.
Nathan puts a lot of effort into this display. Hours to put it up and years collecting it all. He says his neighbors do too. They do it for the kids, and it's something they couldn't afford growing up.
We grew up both, me and my neighbor, poor, and we just decided, we can do it now, and the kids love it, so that's what it's all about.
The Steele family doesn't expect to get their decorations back, but they want to warn others. That's when they noticed a trend.
I initially posted it on Ring, and within the day I had gotten another post on Ring of somebody so clearly in the same neighborhood that had said the same thing, and it was, I noticed a Disney item as well. And then from there, I had just been checking on Nextdoor and everything too, and that's when I noticed there was a theme that other people were having this same individual coming in and stealing their Disney-themed stuff.
So we followed up this morning with San Jose police. They tell us the suspect is still out there unidentified and on the loose. If you know anything, give police a call. Well, the largest tidal area in the Bay Area, tidal restoration project on the West Coast actually happening right now. It's called the Salt Pond Restoration Project. You can, in fact, see it covers much of the southern part of the bay, so it's a big deal. Right now, they're working on what's called a A2W pond over in Mountain View by Shoreline Park. Our Suji Nam went out there. She has more on what the project means, especially for local wildlife where you live in that area and the health of our bay.
Grading out the dirt into a nice, gentle 30-to-1 habitat slope.
Years of construction soon coming to an end.
Marshes themselves cushion the bay shoreline from wind waves, storms, high tides.
Dave Halsing oversees the South Bay Salt Pond Restoration Project in Mountain View, managing the A2W pond that spans more than 400 acres near Shoreline Park and Stevens Creek Trail. Crews are transforming this pond that was once used for salt production into tidal marshes.
We raised the north end of that channel and rebuilt the bay trail on top of it, and we put these culvert pipes here so that it could drain out onto these rocks and flow out into the pond.
Halsing and his team imported 180,000 cubic yards of dirt to cultivate these wetland habitats.
A cubic yard is about the size of a washing machine, so you can imagine 180,000 of those piled up.
They're excavating the Stevens Creek channel to create a flow path between the pond and the bay.
Every time the tide comes in, it'll drop a little sediment in the bottom of the pond. That sediment will build up and eventually reach the right elevation for marsh to grow.
Nonprofits like Save the Bay help the marsh grow. Executive Director David Lewis says they plan to remove weeds and replace them with native plants by the pond to invite in wildlife.
Need a place right next to the tidal marsh that has enough vegetation to protect them from predators like hawks, protect them from people who are using the shoreline. We're actually making great progress. We need to do it faster to stay ahead of sea level rise.
A few more touches to this pond restoration. Halsing says they are building a public walking path and bridge.
We'll have more wildlife and more plants, and it won't just be an empty body of water.
While it may take several years before we see significant wildlife bloom by the pond, Halsing and his crews are optimistic about helping to restore the bay to what it once was.
It is 6:38 on Wednesday morning. Millions of Australian children just lost access to social media. We can dream, parents in the United States, right? We break down the sweeping measure with some of the toughest restrictions on planet Earth. And then a bounce back for downtown San Francisco, how recent data from food delivery services points to a rebound for a really important part of the Bay Area. .642 this morning. We're watching live video coming to us in real time from our many monitors from all over the country. One person killed and also another critically wounded after a shooting at Kentucky State University. Yesterday's shooting happened outside a school dorm on campus in the middle of final exams for fall semester. Both victims are students. Police say the 48-year-old suspect faces murder charges this morning. Kentucky State University is a public and historically black university with about 2,200 students. Well, a new push on Capitol Hill today for answers about a deadly U.S. boat strike off the coast of Venezuela. Lawmakers want video unedited to be released to the public. So far, you've only seen edited versions, but Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says he's not decided on that yet. President Trump said last week he had no problem releasing the full footage, but then he denied ever having said that. The decision now rests with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. In Australia, a new national law takes effect blocking children under 16 from using TikTok, Instagram, and other major social media. It's one of the toughest social media crackdowns on restrictions for teens and students in the entire world. Supporters say it's aimed at protecting young users from online harms, including feeds that promote self-harm and eating disorders. Bay Area's Meta has already started deactivating accounts that they believe belong to those under the age of 16. And other tech companies could face fines of more than $30 million if they fail to comply. Let's come home to San Francisco and downtown San Francisco at that. Well, get this. We still have more than 35% of our office space in the downtown area sitting vacant. Now, that's just a hair down from the record high set earlier this year and 5 times more than before the pandemic. But there's signs of a Bay Area bounce back coming from food delivery businesses who cater those downtown office workers. Kenny Choi has more on DoorDash data.
As lunchtime kicks off, delivery scooters speed off to their next drop-off. Business isn't just picking up inside the Grove, a breakfast, lunch, and dinner spot on the corner of 3rd and Mission. Its delivery window doesn't seem to slow down.
It is back. It's not talk, it's real, man. We see it, we feel it.
David Cohen is CEO and chef. He says sales are up about 20% across the board year over year. That includes third-party deliveries to downtown offices.
DoorDash has always been strong for us. We are up significantly year over year.
New data from DoorDash shows lunchtime orders at downtown San Francisco commercial addresses rose 15.7% year over year, compared to the national average of just 2.5%. Just down the street on Mission and First, Chalo's is serving freshly made Argentinian empanadas.
We have from beef, chicken, to mushroom, spinach, real vegetables.
Annie Leung and her husband started Chalo's, a cafe in the Sunset, pre-pandemic, but have now expanded, opening this downtown San Francisco location in March. They rely more on office foot traffic here rather than deliveries for now, but are also seeing an uptick in sales.
A slight increase, little by little, but it definitely does help expand our footprint a little bit.
Leong says improving numbers give them hope to ramp up their office catering side of the business in the near future.
It's been really nice to see the uptick in traffic and people coming back downtown.
Back at the Grove, the latest office delivery numbers are also reinforcing what Cohen is seeing at other times throughout the workday.
Lunch has always been strong, but when we see that change in the happy hour and we see that change in the evening business, we really know that there's activity all day now. And so that's really a strong indicator for us.
It's another sign of a busier downtown, as small business owners hope that trend continues to move in the right direction.
Got some breaking news for you this morning at 6:46. A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration's control of National Guard troops in Los Angeles. You'll remember the White House federalized about 4,000 of our California Guard members in June, sending them down to L.A. during protests over immigration raids. That was despite California Governor Gavin Newsom objecting in a very big way. Well, today's ruling orders those troops return to the governor's control, while the legal fight continues over whether Washington overstepped its authority. Time now for a look at what's coming up later on CBS Mornings. Here's Nate Burleson.
Hey, Reed, good morning. Good to see you. Here's what's coming up on CBS Mornings. We have a very musical lineup on the way. In our Road to the Grammy series, Anthony Mason talks with Best New Artist nominee Somber about his life-changing year. Plus, country music star Carly Pearce will be here in studio. Her new song, Dream Come True, is about the sacrifices we make to pursue our dreams. And Vlad catches up with top blues guitarist Joe Bonamassa. He has a new tribute album to the legendary B.B. King that they'll talk about. Oh, and Vlad also got to jam with one of the contributors. We'll have everything you need to know, plus more on the show. So we'll see you at 7.
All right, thank you. We also have some breaking news about Tony Dokoupil coming up after the commercial break. You're going to have to stick around for that. We're so excited for Mr. Tony and his next steps in his life. Taking a live look outside from Mount Diablo, looking down on our friends who are waking up in Clayton. Pretty view there, but hey, Jess, anywhere you look in the Bay Area, it's a pretty view.
It is a pretty view above the clouds. I mean, below them, I think we're all waking up to those gray skies again, probably rolling our eyes, just wishing we had a beautiful sunrise. And that sunrise is beautiful. The reality is, though, we are filled with fog this morning over into the Delta. This spills in from the Sacramento Valley. This has been the story all week long for us. We're sitting in the 40s right now in Concord, Walnut Creek, Antioch, Livermore also sitting in the 40s too. But heading into this afternoon, we only warm up into the 40s, at least in Antioch. We'll warm up a little bit more into the 50s and 60s, widespread throughout the rest of the Bay Area. One of our sunny days on tap for us today over into places like Half Moon Bay, all the way up into Pacifica, with beautiful weather in store for us. Some of the warmest weather we see all throughout the Bay today. But be very careful if you are heading out to that coast. We have that beach hazard statement issued by the National Weather Service. It's another day of rip currents and sneaker waves and choppy waters. So you want to be very, very careful. If you like walking your dog along the beach, make sure they're on a leash. And of course, just limit your time. Well, not limit your time, but avoid staying in the water. Avoid getting into the water. Don't even bother getting into the water today. Tomorrow, we will keep you updated on that here in the Weather Center. Now, some other things that we want to talk about too. The air quality today and tomorrow. It's forecasted to be in that unhealthy for sensitive groups category all the way over into the East Bay as we head into the afternoon hours today. For the rest of us here in the Bay Area, in that moderate category right now. This is similar to yesterday. And if you are sensitive to pollutant matter, try limiting your time outside. Continue to hydrate, clear your throat, and just be cautious, of course, when it comes to that ventilated air pushing in from outside. Now, Futurecast, a couple of things we want to talk about too. Into the East Bay we go. That stubborn fog will actually start to lift into the afternoon hours today. We will see some sunshine on tap for us right before the sunset. Beautiful weather for us to get out there and get some fresh air, but of course, fresh air is kind of limited right now with that poor air quality. So heading into the next couple of days, we should see better conditions, especially by the time we head into this weekend when it comes to air quality. Now, into this weekend and early next week, a chance of showers returns into the forecast. I'll talk more about why that's happening coming up in just a bit. Now back to you.
All right, let's take a look at your roadways this morning because we know you are. We're tracking that crash in Hayward on southbound 880. That's just north of Industrial Parkway. It is causing a major backup in the area, so travel time through that stretch is about 35 minutes. Deep breath, everybody. Give those first responders the room they need. As for your experience on public transit right there, look at that. We like to see that on time, on time, on time, on time. Right side of your screen showing a green light. Everything appears to be good right now at the moment. No major delays to report at this hour. Then let's get a live look at the San Mateo Bridge. Pretty standard for this morning. Slow and go on the right, little less dense on the left. No major delays, just a few brake lights. Overall, traffic flowing smoothly in both directions. That's a look at your morning commute. Live look at San Francisco's Caltrain station, where starting today, it's going to be more convenient for you to pay for public transit all over the Bay Area. 24 transit systems joining together to start allowing you, the rider, to tap your debit or your credit cards to pay for fares. It also includes major agencies like AC Transit, Muni, VTA. You can even use digital wallets on your smartphone to pay to ride. We spoke to Bay Area passengers about the changes earlier this morning.
It makes it very convenient to be able to use all the public transit with just one card instead of having to pay for paper tickets.
You know, Caltrain's way better. Caltrain's way better because at least you're on there and you've got Wi-Fi and you can sit. I've got my laptop in my bag. I can do some work. Whereas if I'm stuck on there, then I'm just stuck in the car.
And a beautiful accent to boot there. Thank you so much, Chuck. Back in August, BART became one of their first to start the tap and pay system. It's 6:51. An interest rate cut expected today by the Feds. We're going to talk live to money expert Jill Schlesinger about how this can help you and your bottom line. And we'll take you on a ride aboard Fremont's holiday train. So much fun in one community. Meet the team keeping this Bay Area tradition alive for families for more than 6 decades. New this morning, some exciting news for a peer of ours, and we're so excited to tell you about it. CBS Morning's Tony Dokoupil, you know him, you love him. He's taking over as the anchor of the CBS Evening News.
That's right, this guy right here. Can we cue that music up again? That's right, moving on up. Tony Dokoupil, or as Oprah calls him, Tony Baroni, is moving from the table to the desk as the new anchor of CBS Evening News.
Yes. Woo! He's the real deal and a fantastic guy behind the scenes at that. So happy for you, Tony. The Emmy-winning journalist leaves CBS Mornings after nearly 7 years at the desk. He plans to kick off his new role with a cross-country tour, meeting Americans face-to-face in their own communities. CBS says Dokoupil brings authenticity, compassion, and trust to the job, all at a time when we're in the trust business. Trust in media matters more now than ever. You can catch Tony Dokoupil weeknights at 3:30 p.m. our time, starting next month, right here on CBS. By the way, you can also see him streaming on Paramount+. Congratulations, Tony. It's a win for the viewer and for journalism in these United States. Time for a look at your Money Watch report. Let's take a live look at the big board right now. We're in positive territory. We'll continue following that throughout the morning as President Trump continues to talk about the economy, saying he gives it an A grade. Also, there's a headline that's going to inform your dinner time headlines. The Federal Reserve wraps up its final meeting of the year today, and you out there are going to be watching for this, a promised interest rate cut, not only today, but maybe even looking into 2026 more cuts. The Fed is expected to cut those rates by 1/4 point this afternoon. If you're keeping track, that's the 3rd cut this year. Investors will also dig into updated forecasts on inflation and growth with questions about what 2026 might look like. All eyes are on Chair Jerome Powell's news conference, especially after recent pushback among Fed members. Coming up at 7 over on Pix Plus, CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger will join us to talk about what we can expect from the meetings and, of course, how it affects your bottom line, your wallet. Job openings in the United States mostly stagnant in the month of October. The latest Labor Department numbers shows that employers posted 7.67 million job openings that month, which was up about 10,000 from the month before. The report also found that layoffs jumped to nearly 1.9 million in October. That's the most since January 2023, while the number of people quitting their jobs went down. We call it Decked Out for the Holidays, and we take a ride down to Fremont. For more than 60 years, volunteers have been salvaging and repurposing those steam engines and offering train rides from the historic Niles District. Chances are it figures into your family story. Every winter, Christmas cheer takes over the railway, and our Kevin Code got your ticket to ride.
We're moving. The train is now on its way up to Sunol.
Another winter night, another train ride for Henry Bound.
Every car's a different theme.
18 railroad passenger cars, all repurposed, decorated, and operated by volunteers.
You try to save history. We have a few cars on the train that are 100 years old. You don't want to just throw it all out and then try to tell somebody what it was like. You can only reproduce this.
Caboose 261?
You know, caboose? No, not really. If they got to go run them, but not really. Come on.
There's no time to waste on the Train of Lights, Fremont's take on the Polar Express, providing an East Bay adventure through hidden landscapes only accessible by train. It's also one of the hottest tickets in town.
We sell 28,000 tickets this year in 35 minutes. That's Taylor Swift ticketing, and our ticketing people are, it wipes them out every year too.
Henry and tens of Bay Area volunteers repair outdated trains, then run them throughout the year in Fremont. This seasonal event is so popular, it essentially keeps the lights on and the trains running past winter.
You can't go to the auto parts store and get parts for these things, so we have to make them.
These open cars were also created by volunteers who serve hot chocolate and make routine announcements during rides.
Snacks are $2 and bottled water and juice are only $1 each. Don't forget the commissary car.
In the commissary car, 5-year-old Liam was enjoying the ride with his family.
I like the lights.
It's just so beautiful, and it's something local. I've grown up in Fremont my entire life, so it's just been really something that I get to show my kids.
For all the volunteers aboard, the hope is to share a bit of East Bay history with a sprinkle of Christmas cheer.
If we don't preserve it, it's gone forever.
And come along with us on the invitation to join us Christmas Eve and Christmas for our holiday light special. Both evenings we'll share some of the season's best light displays from your neighborhoods all across the Bay Area. Hey, coming up on Pix Plus 44 Cable Channel 12, a lot more ahead. The world's first teen social media ban to protect young users. It's in effect down under. We're going to talk about the takeaways for families who live in that area in our Wired Wednesday report. Let's take a live look outside right now. That golden glow, some low-lying clouds. Pix Plus 44, Cable Channel 12. Jess will have your forecast. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.